What's up guys, welcome back to my channel for another 1/12 scale action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at my customized Sculpt Studio Dark Knight Batman. Starting off with the packaging, you can see that it's been heavily modified. I've basically halved it. If you want to learn how to do this to your action figure boxes, you can check the link up at the top. I have a video explaining how I do this. So if you're familiar at all with my channel or my Instagram page, you'll have seen this custom before. This is something I started quite a while ago, and I just got around to finishing it because all of the pieces came together. And if we get this package open, he's got a bag with the Manipple unmasked head sculpt in there. He's also got a bag with all of his other accessories. And here he is out of the package. And this has been a long time coming. It's very satisfying to see this come together, and it's fully complete right in front of me. A long time ago, I made an edit on the Sculpt Studio Batman, just seeing what the Manipple head sculpt would look like in Photoshop. And after some inspiration and input from Ibrahim Mustafa and Na Remerd on Instagram, I did an NW Toys body swap on this and could not be happier with the final result. Here is the head sculpt in all of its glory. This comes from OT Customs. He made this to be as screen accurate as possible. And I believe the mouth plate is cast from a Hot Toys, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it's painted by Uncle Sam 1989 on Instagram, and it is pretty much perfect. I couldn't ask for anything else except for it to be a little bit more sturdy, which I'll talk about later. But looking at the chest, I did repaint the kind of gray section on the chest there. It was very flat before, but I kind of added some translucent dark paint to it. The belt is from the SH Figuarts, and I'll go over how I attached that at the back when we look at that. And taking a look down at the boots, nothing really special going on here, but nothing to complain about. Overall, Sculpt Studio did a great job with all the details on the suit. It just needed a body swap and a head sculpt swap to really bring it to the next level. And the details look great on the back as well. There's that belt attached with some 3mm elastic bands that I got from Etsy. They happen to be just the perfect color, exact same color gold as the SHF belt. Now, before we go over articulation, I just wanted to tell you about a little tragedy that occurred with this guy. I was kind of posing him around on the shelf, just adjusting his head, and it popped off because it wasn't very securely attached. And then it fell and hit the bottom of the shelf in just the right way to break that ear. And it's cast out of resin, so it's very brittle, but that was devastating. But AZ Customs Figs on Instagram reached out and he offered to help fix it. And as you can see, he nailed it. You can hardly even tell the difference. So huge thanks to AZ Customs Figs for helping save this figure. Could not have done this without his help. Moving on to articulation, the neck is from the Mafex and it can swivel around. You can get a little bit of back, a little bit of forward, but it's kind of tight in that armor. And then the arms can move up all the way. The shoulder pads are free floating. They're on some elastic bands, so you can adjust those. And then when you put the arm down, you kind of have to bring the shoulders back up on that NW Toys body. But his arms can also move forward all the way. Then you just adjust that shoulder pad. And I separated the shoulder pads specifically so I could do that. And his elbows can go way past 90. I also separated the little elbow pad and glued that onto the suit. And his wrists can swivel. And they can't really hinge very much because the peg is kind of sitting a little bit far down in there. And again, with those shoulder pads, you kind of always have to adjust them to make them look right, but at least they have really good range of motion. As does his ab crunch. He can bend forward quite a ways. He can also bend back a significant amount as well. The NW Toys body is really great for articulation. His legs can move all the way forward. And he's got a double jointed knee that can go way past 90, almost to his butt. And then at his ankle, he's got a double ball peg that you don't get a ton of motion out of, but it does the job. So I'm not much of a poser, so this is kind of a rudimentary pose just based off of the box artwork here. But this guy can pose very well. He's got great articulation, and you can finally get him into a pose that semi-resembles what's on the box. But this makes me want to look into some wired capes. Anyway, his Manipple head sculpt is awesome. Taking a closer look at that, Definitely can see the likeness to Christian Bale. I've modified this so that it can work with this custom on the NW Toys body. And I got really used to displaying this on the figure because I didn't have a good masked head sculpt until now. But swapping it out is really easy. You just pop off the Mafex neck, and then the mandible head sculpt can just pop right on there. And I really like how this looks. Like I said, I got really used to it for a long time, but I do prefer the masked sculpt now that I have it. But for photography and for specific poses, this is so cool to have. I never imagined that I would have action figures at this scale that are this realistic. So very happy with this mandible sculpt. And he's got hands that can hold all of his accessories, including this unmasked cowl, his grapple gun, the sticky bomb gun, both of which come from the SHF, batarangs, Joker cards, and this contact grenade. And here he is next to my modified Remad Custom Destroyer and Felix Toys the Clown. They all stand somewhere around 6¼ inches tall to the top of their heads, which would make them all about 6'3" in 1:1 scale. And I'm so happy with how these guys look together. I don't really want any more Nolan trilogy figures, but I am excited to keep building out my Batverse. Here he is next to the Extreme Toys Batman, and he's a little bit smaller, but that's okay with me. And I'm excited to get the Manipul Studio Batfleck and to finish my custom Pattinson Batman. So those will be coming soon. Stay tuned. And that'll wrap up this review of my custom 112 Dark Knight. Thank you so much for watching. If you think this might be the perfect 112 Dark Knight, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Consider subscribing, checking out my Instagram, and I will catch you guys in the next video.